Breaking news. Russia warning, British fighter jets at risk from Kremlin due to unacceptable weakness. Russia could learn top UK military secrets and use them to discover and exploit potentially disastrous vulnerabilities. A senator has warned that the technology behind Britain's newly acquired stealth jets could fall into the hands of Vladimir Putin if Turkey is permitted to buy 116 of the aircraft alongside Russia's missile system, the U.S. fears. Britain has struck a deal to buy 138 F-35 fighter jets and has so far committed money for 48 of them, with the first 4 arriving last month. Sea trials using the aircraft carrier HMS Queen Elizabeth are scheduled to begin later this year. However, Turkey, which is also a member of NATO, is also planning to buy a large consignment of the jets, as well as the Russian S-400 missile system, and experts have warned this could mean the Kremlin would be able to access data highlighting any potential vulnerabilities. U.S. Senator Chris Van Hollen has added a provision to a Senate bill which would shelve the sale to Turkey until U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo certifies that the country will not purchase the S-400. Mr. Van Hollen said, "I support the transfer of F-35 advanced aircraft to Turkey, but not if they proceed with the acquisition of the Russian S-400 missile defense system. This move would jeopardize the national security of the United States and our other allies. Turkey's acquisition of both systems would allow the Russians to more easily evaluate the capabilities of the F-35 and detect and exploit its vulnerabilities. That is unacceptable. This provision makes it clear that if Turkey ignores the concerns of its NATO allies and moves forward with this partnership with Putin, it will no longer receive F-35s." Mark Francois MP, a member of the Defense Select Committee, told The Telegraph, "The UK is investing a tremendous amount of money in the F-35 and part of the reason for that is the stealth technology. We wouldn't want to see anything compromise that capability, and that includes the sale of the S-400 to Turkey. This will undoubtedly be causing concern in the Mod as it is fairly obvious the Russians are trying to draw them in. Concerns have been heightened by the perception that President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is becoming increasingly closely allied with Mr. Putin's Russia, which he believes offered him more steadfast support after 2016's failed coup. Mr. Erdogan has also been angered by the fact that the U.S. views Kurdish militia groups in Syria as allies, despite the fact that Kurdish forces have clashed with the Turkish military on numerous occasions in recent years. Mr. Putin also visited Turkey recently to see work on a new £15 billion nuclear plant being built by Russian state nuclear energy agency Rosatom get underway. Wes Mitchell, Assistant Secretary of State for European and Eurasian Affairs, has said the sale of the aircraft could still be stopped even if Mr. Van Hollen's bill fails. Speaking last week, he explained, "The U.S. maintains custody of aircraft until they are transferred. We can't be any clearer in saying both privately and publicly, a decision on S-400 will qualitatively change the U.S.-Turkish relationship in a way that would be very difficult to repair." The S-400 is an anti-aircraft weapon system which became operational in 2007. Douglas Berry, Senior Fellow for Military Aerospace at the International Institute for Strategic Studies think tank, said, "It is typical of the Soviet-type approach," says Douglas Berry, Senior Fellow for Military Aerospace at the International Institute for Strategic Studies, a think tank. "They want to start shooting at you as far away as they can and whittle down the number of attacking aircraft." The Berry said Russian military experts would be very keen to know what an F-35 aircraft looks like to the S-400 radars head-on, cross-range and moving away, Mr. Berry said. He added, "Any information would have considerable military utility and there is an inherent risk in those two systems being in the same military."